Welcome to the cult. The cult that wishes for perfect version. The cult of the Lamb. Today we're here to talk about another limited release that has some drama. So what is it today? Well, it's not the usual, it is a bugged version and we have to beg and plead for, oh my, can we have a fixed version? Instead, it's broken promises. So let's get into it. Special Reserve games. I've had a few of my own personal gripes with Special Reserves games, business practices lately, and this is just another one that's upsetting a number of people. So, for those who aren't familiar, Special Reserve Games was the first people to announce to do a physical version for Cult of the Lamb. They were only doing PS5 and Switch, to my disappointment of wanting a PS4 version. Though, to be fair, I don't even know if it came out on PS4, but I was hoping for it, because obviously I don't have PS5 still. Anyway, though, they did announce, I think this is the first time they did this, that there will be a retail version of the game, which, admittedly, I like that, because that's been one of two gripes I've personally had with them. They've been doing a lot of retail, and it's not the fact that I don't mind them doing retail. I want games to get in people's hands. But, you see, like, if you remember with, like, the Streets of Rage 4 incident with limited one games, you know, it got a retail version, with a bell cover, by the way, and by the time they were shipping out the limited one version, it was all the way on massive discounts, down to like $15. So you paid more money, waited longer for the exact same version, only later for there to be an even better version with the DLC on it. Which just kind of actually happened again with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. They released the base game thing, it went to retail. Now, they were upfront about going to retail as well and that. But it feels really scummy because, you know, it got DLC and now they're doing another version, which is both getting limited and retail and that. And it feels scummy. Because they should have known that was going to happen, just waited instead of charging us more fucking money. Like, I feel whipped. Now, that instance, I got the retail version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. And, like, I still feel whipped. Like, it's just kind of bullshitty in that. Like, the limited companies should not be doing these kind of releases like this. But anyway, we're getting a little off topic. But yeah, I was getting a little upset with them, like, being like, oh, we're going to do a limited thing, and then it hits retail, gets discounts and shit while you're sitting here waiting for your copy. And it's just annoying. And my other problem was PS4 shit. Obviously, you know, it's not that I hate the Switch. It's just I hate how a lot of developers either don't pull the weight for the Switch version. Like, it's either, like, busted or, like, because I understand it's not as powerful as the other consoles. I'm not expecting 60 frames to 8K or something like that. I'm not that kind of person. But, like, I want it to be functional, beatable, and, you know, at a minimal okay state, you know. But there's a lot of Switch versions. Like, look at how Bloodstain came out. Oh, man, the Switch physical version was so fucking broken without its patches. It is just such a joke. Was such a joke. And it was the best-selling version, too. That's what fucking drives me crazy on that incident. But, yeah, like, so I don't really trust getting Switch versions of stuff very often unless it's Switch only. Like, when it's on something else, I'd rather just get on something else unless there is found to be something specifically wrong. Like, how there's been several Japanese games with broken PS5 versions, but fine PS4 versions. That's been a really odd pattern. Several Japanese games have been suffering that. It's very strange in that sense. Anyway, though, again, we're getting off topic. But, yeah, that was another thing, like, where they would do a Switch version, then, like, a half year later, do PS4 versions and that. And I hate that, and that's something I've been criticizing Super Whale Games with lately, when they just introduced it doing PS4 themselves. They need to do like I've said it to them on Twitter too. You need to do the same thing you do with your Switch games. You need to do a PlayStation bundle thing. I would like to get the PS4 versions, but I like getting the bundle to save on shipping and shit, and they don't do that with the PS4 stuff. They need to do that with the PS4 stuff, because otherwise they're just stagnating the problem of getting them sold, which has been a big problem. Now, I'm sure that ain't the main problem, but I doubt I'm the only person who's like, well, you know, I'd like to get the PS4 versions, but you get a discount with Switch, and I can get all 3 pre-ordered with one shipping instead of having to pay individual shipping or wait, risking them being sold out and stuff and that, you know. So, like, that's something I will continue to say to Super Whale Games, because I feel like that's something they definitely need to do if they want their PS4 line to pick up more. Because the first PS4 games, they had to cut. They weren't getting enough sales. They actually cut the limit because they weren't getting enough sales. And I feel like that would help in that sense a bit. I mean, it would convert me to getting the PS4 versions over the Switch versions myself, because I would. Well, they'll get those. But, you know, again, different topic. Anyway, back into the main, stealing into the cult's hallways. We have a 3 DLC problem. So, I have not played Call of the Lamb yet, obviously, because I pre-ordered from Special Resort Games, so I've been patiently waiting for my quote-unquote as best as the build it's going to get until they may do another version down the road, maybe, kind of thing. So, there are 2, to my understanding of this situation, there are 2 paid DLCs and 1 free DLC. Now, the free DLC is going to be on the Special Reserve copy of the game. And technically, according to them, the other 2 are as well, but they're doing a Capcom, because you have to pay for it to unlock it. But hey, guys, it's on the physical media, right? It's there, so what's still to complain about? It's on there. Talk about missing the point. Like, man, who the fuck turned the time warp on and go back to like Azor's Wrath and fucking Capcom versus Tekken or Street Fighter versus Tekken shit, man? Like, what the hell? Like, this is literally the same situation. It's like, yeah, when people found out the content's actually on the fucking disc, but yet they were charging you to fucking unlock it. Like, this is stupid. This is stupid. This is what I consider bullshit, is this content should have been on the fucking disc and cartridge. There's no excuse. It's out. We bought it. We pre-ordered. We waited like a fucking year. And this is what we get. Now, you might say, well, at least you got the 1 free DLC thing on there. Well, here's something interesting. So, of course, the retail version has came and gone. I've seen, like, the PS5 version on sale at Walmart for, like, $13 several times. So, like, it is definitely reminding me of the Streets of Rage 4 incident. Honestly, the whole DLC thing was the okay, it was worth waiting for. And then there's a mixed bag to it now. So, as it stands, apparently the Switch version of the game has been getting updated in retail. Now, this is very common with most of Nintendo's first-party stuff. Certain other titles have gone it too, but it's really common with Nintendo's own stuff. But apparently, Call of the Lamb has also been getting updated. And there is people finding retail copies that are the same version as a Special Reserve copy. Now, I'm not going to say I want gatekeeping, be like, oh, how dare normal people be able to get a more comprehensive copy. That's good. However, it still does break several parts. Like, honestly, I think the best thing they could have done was give us the paid DLC as a counter to that. Because obviously, by not doing that, it's just making people mad. Because what did we get? We waited a year. We didn't get anything different from the Switch. Now, if you're a PS5 purchaser, you may still be in luck, though, because as far as I understand, the PS5 version is not being updated retail-wise, as far as I'm aware of, that I could find within all this. So, if you bought it PS5-wise, you're probably still at least getting something a bit. But on the Switch side, it's kind of feeling kind of whipped off for the people who bought Special Reserves version. Because what did we really get in our version then, if the retail's getting it? And again, I'm not trying to gatekeep. Like, I am glad they are updating it. And I think that's good, because that can mean down the road there could be even potential for even better version. So there is that to look to. But still, for us who paid full price for the Special Reserve games, I don't blame you for feeling whipped, because I definitely do. They advertise it's going to have all the DLC up to the point of manufacturing. Then they later change that and say, like, mid-year of this year. Like, they say basically that the paid ones are technically on there, but you have to buy them to unlock them. Like, that is such a fucking PS3 360 Capcom gen thing. Like, what the fuck? Like, do these people not live during that time period? What are you? 12? Like, people were pissed when Capcom did that to a fighting game in a fucking quick time event style game. And now here we are with all this. Like, what the fuck? Now, there were claims. Now, I'm not 100% sure some of the other things. Like, I heard that supposedly the developers were supposed to sign every copy, and people are saying they did not get signatures on those. To be fair, I didn't pay attention to that. Like, you know, I just want a good version of the game to play and have preserved on my shelf, because I don't always get to play things day one. Sometimes it may take me a while to ever get to some stuff. I mean, like, you know, I have a lot of games. It's not easy to pick what to play next at times. That's what makes the whole Friday viewer choice thing a little less stress-free, because you all get to choose that. But, I have been really, really looking forward to the Cult of the Lamb, and this is really a bit of a shame. It's cool we got the free DLC on now. That's cool. And there's potential, if there's more stuff like that the Switch version may get potentially updated more, and can look for a more build cartridge. But it's just shitty. Why didn't they include the 2 paid DLC ones? We pre-ordered full price. We waited all that time. We just feel shitted. It feels so much like the Streets of Rage 4 situation with limited one games a lot. It feels like a born for buying the version again. Again and again and again and again. I don't mind stuff going to retail. I think it's good for games to get into more hands. Like, I know they did that with that one game where they said, never digital, it will only be physical. And people were buying it the buttloads, hoping to scalp it as fuck. And then they announced it for retail. And those people got super pissed, obviously, because that means it's going to be harder to fucking up the price on it. And I understand that sucks for those people who were betting on it to be worth money down the road. But, like, I'm all for trying to make games more available, so, like, it's cool that they're becoming retail. That's fine. But I think it's becoming a bigger problem of, why do we need Special Reserve games? Why should we buy the Special Reserve version? Because of the box? I mean, the NES black box style boxes are nice, don't get me wrong. But, like, I mean, I just want the game. Like, I just want a nice copy of the game that could play offline, preferably has as much humanly content patches on it as humanly possible. Like, that's all I want. I don't need all the like, I got tons of limited one, not just limited one, but I mean, like, I got lots of collector's editions of a lot of shit, and I'm very, very picky on usually getting any, unless I just happen to find one that's super cheap or something, of something I'm interested in. I mean, come on, if you see a brand new limited edition of something for like $20, and it's something you're slightly interested in, it's kind of hard to pass, to be fair, right? But yeah, like, I don't buy a lot of those, like $80, $100 collector's edition things much anymore. Like, I'm not even sure what what was the last one I really bought that wasn't like a on sale thing. It's hard to really even remember, to be honest. I don't really remember. I think it was probably like the Shantae stuff on Limited One, because I really do like Shantae. So, yeah, I think those were probably the last like really big box limited things I bought in a long time. Like, I don't really care about that. But to be fair, that's just a me thing. I mean, there's people who don't have a ton of stuff like I do, and they do want that stuff. I mean, nothing against them, but I'm just saying when we're talking about the game, just the game, what is the special resolve game really giving us over the retail version at this point? Because as far as I'm telling, there's not really anything being different other than us being skewed on deals. Like, a lot of these retail versions have gone discounts, sales, and things at Best Buy, GameStop, and stuff, and it's really disappointing. It's really sad. It's just, I don't know. And then I hear like stuff like, Metal Wolf. I was really excited about Metal Wolf. I've heard lately Metal Wolf's physical version has a lot of bugs in it without patching it. I feel like I appreciate the companies that are waiting and making sure we're getting functional versions. I mean, we don't necessarily need every fucking patch, but like when there's a lot of bad bugs and shit, it's nice to kind of wait, get that fixed before you make a physical version, Like, it's annoying. This is all so annoying to me. Like to the point where, like, almost all the shit has been getting retail versions at this point. And it's really making me part of the unique cult of why should we keep buying special resolve versions? Why should we? It's a good question, in my opinion. Why should we? I know the people who do they keep track of the updated Switch cartridges, the revised editions. I know they're pretty pissed about the whole situation. Apparently, Special Resolve Games banned them from like their Discord and stuff. So, and I do remember interacting with the one of the main people that with the whole Gato Roboto thing too, actually, because they did make some noise on that about that on their Discord too. But it's just an annoying situation. I mean, on one side, at least it's not a busted game like a lot of the last several of these situations, but they promised all the DLC up to that point in patches when they manufactured their version of it. And now we have to buy 2 of those DLCs, even though they're on the physical media. Lovely. Great. Poor Capcom. Capcom, move nouveau. Stone Aged. Like, it's... Perhaps one day we'll see a better version that has that stuff, maybe. I hope. Because to be honest, I've been very interested in Call of the Lamb. It looks so fun. And this kind of thing just kind of puts a wet towel on it. Because, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff I've been way wanting to play, too. And, when you do stuff like this, it just makes me feel, I mean, of course, from their point of view, we paid money. So, they always, like we say with, like, money transaction shit, they always won regardless whether you're happy or not with what you did. They got your money, so they always won. So, they could care less whether I'm sad about it, right? But, of course, the long-term thing is what? Continue to be a supporter is the thing. Honestly, I'm going to be very much more if you're buying the Special Resolve games, especially if they announce a retail version, because it just, unless something changes, what are they offering? Different. Like, I mean, they've put many of their releases in retail, like Hotline Miami and shit and stuff. Like, I bought the Switch version of those. I wanted the PS4 versions, but they wouldn't say shit about that. I asked them multiple times about that. What about PS4? I'd love to get PS4. They didn't do it. Then, like, I don't remember, like, a year or something, months after that, then they announced a PS4 version. It's like, oh, thank you. Glad I, wasted money on the Switch version. And I did buy those, because I really wanted them on PS4. But then, they did it again, and again, and again, and then you just get burnt out on it. You get burnt out on it. Like, Limited One does that. a few times occasionally with at least one platform, and then after some time they'll do it on another platform. That shit sucks. Okay? If you got okay something or some shit, like, just wait. Release them at the same time, for fucking hell, because some of us want shit on a certain platform or have a preference. Like, you know, I'm sure there's people, if it was the reverse, like you were doing PS4 first and waited a year and did Switch, like, I'm sure there would just be the same amount of people that would be pissed about that. Because they're like, oh, well, I guess they're not doing a Switch version, I'll buy PS4. And then, like, your preference was Switch, and then they do a Switch version. It's like, oh, well, fuck, now, if I want the portability, I gotta buy it again, you know. But yeah, I'd rather get the PS4 version. I already made that clear. But the point is, like, you should have all the versions available at one time so everyone can get whatever the fuck they prefer, and they don't have to feel pressure or worried that, like, it's different, like, if different limited companies do it. Like, you know, if Limited One does one and then Super Whale gets a Switch version, that's definitely happened multiple times. Well, Super Whale Games has locked down the Switch version of some things. Like they did with Darkwood. But Limited One Games got the PS4 version of Darkwood. I'm glad I got the PS4 version of that before Super Whale Games did theirs. So, like, because I would have hated to be like, oh, come on. Would have been annoying. But yeah, that shit gets annoying. But anyway, I'm disappointed. Honestly, I feel like people would not be making a big deal about this as they are if the 2 fucking paid DLCs were legitimately on there. Like, I mean, you could just fucking play them, not fucking have to buy them. Because that's bullshit. It's bullshit. Bullshit. And this is the lesson that's very important, that when you force advertise these kind of things, you have to word this shit properly. I remember way back with Banner Saga. I was a backer for Banner Saga. And they worded it very badly. That gave off the idea that they were going to give... I can't remember how the way it was worded, because, you know, this is a long time ago. But basically, they gave people the idea that we were going to get GOG versions of Banner Saga. When they meant we were going to get, like, this direct link to, like, a server thing we could download a DRM-free version. But because of how there was a miscommunication about something, and again, this was a long time ago, I'd have to dig through years of fucking posts to even remember, like, a direct quote on what the shit was misunderstood. But, yeah, like, they ended up having to do that and give all of the games to people who wanted them deal free on GOG because of a miscommunication when they meant one thing and over another. It's very important that you communicate the shit very, very, very well when you forced. You don't announce it, make mistakes, and then try to fix it. Like, I mean, you obviously have to fix it if you made a mistake, but it's very important you don't fucking do that, because this is the kind of thing that happens. Like, I don't know the exact date when because they say in the post that we avoided not listing them as unlocked to avoid people thinking they are free, even though they're technically on there. But you have to pay for it. But I never saw that when they first announced the game. I didn't see that on the chart or anything. It just said all the DLC at the time of manufacturing. So, I don't know the specific tweet is on 6/1/23. But I don't know if that's the first instance of that. You know, this kind of stuff, you know, it's been like a year since this shit's been ordered and shit, you know. I don't know when the first instance of them conforming this was. But when they first announced this shit, I don't remember seeing that. I don't remember seeing that on the chart or anything. So, like, you gotta fucking properly get your information right. You need to sit down at a table and be like, everyone think of any way you can misunderstand all of this. Like, you really need to fucking think about this shit, because this kind of stuff is what causes this kind of outrage and shit. Regardless of whether you meant to, it was an accident, it was a miscommunication, there was a misunderstanding. This shit is what causes this. But yeah, obviously, I think this would have been way better if the 2 DLCs were on the fucking cartridge, and people would probably be a lot, or on the disc as well, you know. Like, legit, not fucking you need to pay for them. Like, that's bullshit. Like, what kind of claim is it? Oh, they're technically on there. You just have to buy them. Who in the fuck do you think is going to be happy hearing that? Nobody was happy hearing that with Azor's Wrath or fucking Street Fighter versus Tekken. So why the fuck would anyone be happy about hearing it now? Especially in a community that wants complete versions of preferably not broken games. Like, who is the PR of some of these people? Seriously? Who? I'm sorry for yelling, but it's just so, like, it reminds me when the first Critical Error thing with, like, Doom's collection thing happened. That was one of the first big call-outs out of this book. It was not the first game that was broken. It was not. But it's the first time the community just straight out, like, no, fix this. And the way they acted about it, like, oh, we're all making a big deal out of nothing, blah, 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 blah. You're wrong. You need to pay the shipping and blah, blah. Like, that's so insulting. That's so insulting to your consumers that expect getting a working product and shit and promises fulfilled and stuff. Especially when a lot of us wait a long time for these things. Especially with limited one games. And, what's that one company? Force Press Games? That one's even longer. I still have, like, 2 things that are, like, 3 years fucking old with that. Or 4 years. I'm not even sure how many fucking years. It's ridiculous. I bought the damn PlayStation 4 triple set. It's fucking just been in limbo forever. I've, like, literally stopped buying from that company unless the game is physically out. They have so much shit that's up for pre-order that isn't even fucking available for sale. Like, I mean, it's up there to buy, but I mean, they don't have it yet. It's a manifested idea. Now, they have still been releasing shit. Like, I got 2 shmups from them this year that I had pre-ordered for, like, a year or a year and a half or something. So, I mean, they are making things. It's just taking forever and ever for some of the shit. And I got, like, because they basically haven't closed down, like, almost anything on their fucking website. So, I'm basically at the point, I'm just waiting. When it's actually a physical item they'll ship out, I'll buy it. But after that, like, I'm not buying any of the fucking pre-orders from them. Like, I'm so sick of this shit. It's just anger-inducing. Anger-inducing. Okay. Sorry. Okay. But anyway. On the upside, it's not broken. The retail version is having signs of being updated. So perhaps, maybe one day, there will be a better version. It's just sucky that, for us who bought the Special Reserve games, we'll have to either rebuy it or find other means of getting it, if that version ever exists in the future. Anyway, though, that's what's going on with the Cult of the Lamb. It's kind of shitty, and it's full of broken promises. Or should we say retconned promises, maybe? Misunderstandings, retcons, I don't know. But it's an example that's very important the day one when you start a sale that you need to get your information correct and properly understood. Because once it starts spiraling out of control like this, no matter how many times you try to retcon or adjust it, it's going to cause a shitstorm likely. Know your audience, please. You think it wouldn't be that hard to understand your audience, but companies continue to not seem to understand their audience. I don't know how. You wouldn't think it would be that hard, but somehow they do. Anyway, will Special Reserves do anything because of all this? Because those There's all way a bunch of people getting mad. Will it be enough to get anything done? Probably not. I mean, at best, they might give maybe codes for the DLCs or something, maybe as a sorry, but I don't really see them wanting to reprint this shit to put them unlocked on it for us. That would be awesome. That would be totally awesome, but I don't think they're gonna do it. I don't think there will be enough outcry on this. But hopefully, it'll be a lesson to either better present this information or put everything on the fucking cartridge. Like, I just don't get the problem. Like, if it's money, just charge more. I mean, that sucks to a certain extent to have to pay more for it. But, like, do some middle ground, you know? Make, like, the DLCs half off and then merge that half off of them into the base price or something. I don't know. I mean, like, it's just... I'd rather be offered the ability to get a complete version. Like, I know a lot of people shitted on Limited One game way back with that one, I think it was either a Dreamcast or a Sega Saturn. I think it was a Sega Saturn shmup game. It had, like, 3 versions. It was 3 or 2 versions. I think it was 3, where you had, like, the base game, then you had a version with some DLC, and then you had a complete version with all the DLC, and each one costed more. I know a lot of people shit memed on that, but, you know, like, I would at least like the option to be able to get a version that has everything. Like, if it has to cost a little bit more money, I would like that option, at least. It sucks, but I would like it, at least. Because then I can at least make the decision whether I want all the DLC or base version without it. Anyway, though, I ran too much on this and several other things related to the Limited One thing. That let me know what you think about the whole Cult of the Lamb situation with Special Reserve games. Do you feel like that they lied to us, miscommunicated, misunderstanding? Do you think it's right of them to not put all the DLC on the cartridge unlocked? Or do you think they're in the way? Like, I want to hear your opinions on that. Let me know. Until next time, I bid you farewell into the cult.